Losing a pet is like losing a piece of your heart. If you're struggling with grief, you're not alone. At MyDogDied.com, we understand the pain and are here to support you. Visit us today and find comfort, guidance, and a community that cares. We received a letter from someone who has lost their pet and have allowed us to share their story so that it will help other listeners deal with the loss of their pet. Remember, if you like this video, please support us with a like, subscribe, and share. Now here's Don.
I've heard a lot of stories over the years, stories of grief, stories of love, stories of connection deeper than most can understand. But the one I'm about to tell you about a man named Ben and his dog Ryder, well, this one stuck with me. Ben was 52, lived in La Cañada, California, quiet guy, worked in tech, lived up in the foothills where the air is a little cooler, and the sunsets stretch a bit longer across the valley. He had a good life, comfortable, stable. But it wasn't until he got Ryder, a Pembroke Welsh Corgi, with a big bark and even bigger heart, that his home truly felt full. Now, if you know anything about Corgis, you know they're small, stout little dogs with short legs and eyes that sparkle with mischief. But Ryder, he was something else. That dog had the heart of a lion, protective, alert, always watching over the family like he was their furry little guardian angel. Ben used to tell me how Ryder would position himself near the door whenever the kids were home, ears perked, tail wagging just enough to show he was calm but ready. He was a sentry, Ben said, with a bark that could wake the dead. There was something noble about Ryder, loyal, devoted, brave. And it's that bravery that brings us to the night everything changed. It was a warm June evening, the kind where the air is thick and the dusk seems to stretch on forever. Ben and his family had just finished dinner on the patio. The kids were laughing, tossing leftover chicken bits to Ryder, who was, of course, on duty at the edge of the yard. La Cañada's got beauty, but it's close enough to the wild that nature sometimes gets a little too close. That night, it did. A pack of coyotes, 4, maybe 5, slipped through the back ravine. They were desperate, hungry. Ben told me later that they hadn't seen any in a while. Figured the fencing and lights were enough. But coyotes are clever. They watch, they wait. The first snarl shattered the evening like a broken glass. Before Ben could even stand up, Ryder was already gone, out past the yard, chasing the danger down the hill. What happened next is hard to talk about, but it's important. Ryder didn't run away. He didn't hide. He charged straight into that pack, barking like thunder. His job wasn't just to protect. He lived to protect. The commotion drew the coyotes' attention, turning them from the open patio door, from the children, from the family. It was over in minutes. By the time Ben reached the bottom of the slope, flashlight in hand, all he found was silence. The pack had scattered, and Ryder had done his job. He didn't make it back. I remember the first email I got from Ben. It was short, just a few lines. Said he wasn't sure why he was writing, that he found my site, MyDogDied.com, late one night, and figured maybe someone out there would understand. I called him the next day. Grief has a sound. You know? It's in the pauses between words, the shaky inhale before a sentence. I heard it in Ben's voice when he said, he died alone. I heard it again when he whispered, I should have stopped him. But here's what I told Ben. And if you're listening right now and you've lost someone, especially a dog, you need to hear it too. He didn't die alone. He died doing what he was born to do. He died with courage. He died with love. Ryder didn't run into the dark for no reason. He ran into the dark so that others wouldn't have to. That's not just bravery, that's heroism. And no fence, no light, No man could have convinced Ryder to stay when his family was at risk. Over the next few months, Ben kept writing, sometimes a memory, sometimes a question, sometimes just silence and a photo. I published Ryder's story on the site, The Last Stand of Ryder. Hundreds of people responded, letters from strangers, other dog lovers who'd known that same kind of loss, that same aching emptiness. And slowly, very slowly, Ben began to heal. He planted a tree where Ryder fell. A small plaque beneath it reads, "Ryder, protector, friend, hero. You saved us. We will never forget." Today, Ben volunteers at a local rescue. He helps train dogs who've had a rough start, ones who need a second chance. He says it's Ryder's legacy, and maybe it is. Maybe every growl, every wag, every bark from those rescue pups carries a little piece of that brave Corgi spirit. Loss is never easy. It doesn't go away. It just changes. It softens. And when you tell the story, when you share the love, they live on. So to Ryder, wherever you are, you did good, boy. You did real good. And to Ben, thank you for trusting us with your grief. Your story reminds us that even the smallest among us can carry the weight of the world when it matters most.
Your love for your pet never fades, and neither should your support. If you're grieving, don't go through it alone. Visit MyDogDied.com or call us at 855-925-2658 and connect with those who truly understand. Healing starts here. Remember, if you like this video, please support us with a like, subscribe, and share.